Hello everyone, you're watching your favorite series, Tip of the Cryptoberg. I'm Vinita Chatterjee. Today we are going to discuss the real-life use cases of smart contracts. How does smart contract benefit you or me or any of our friends or family members? Let's find out in today's episode. But first, let's find out what are smart contracts. Well, in our day-to-day lives, we all need some sort of a contract to make sure that our promises are kept intact. But what if I tell you that there is a concept called smart contract? Smart contracts can be defined as a paperless digital code that offers a set of promises on predefined conditions that the two different parties have agreed to. In simple words, the parties can set a condition that can start an action or a series of actions when met. Smart contracts actually have the potential to make our world more democratic. Yes, you heard me. In fact, the whole concept of smart contract applications has unquestionably revolutionized the way we live our lives. Experts believe that smart contracts would be around long after everyone has forgotten about some of the leading crypto coins. Smart contracts use the blockchain technology to facilitate the exchange of money, property, information, or anything that people deem appropriate to initiate a smart contract for. The beauty of decentralized nature of blockchain technology is based on peer-to-peer transactions. That means that these smart contracts don't require anything in the way of a middleman. Traditionally, individuals or institutions such as banks and solicitors were required to facilitate legally binding contracts. We all know that, right? But now, let's see what change the smart contracts implement in our lives. Smart contracts allow individuals to bypass this costly and often slow middlemen and agree on the contract directly. Well, doesn't that make you feel that smart contracts are going to simplify all of our lives? It truly does. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the top 10 real-life use cases of smart contracts. Let's find out. Number 1. Trade finance. Trade finance stands to benefit immensely from the introduction of smart contracts. Recently, Santander Innoventures said that it believes that blockchain technology will lead to more than $20 billion worth of savings per year by the year 2022. A huge amount of these savings will come from smart contracts, automating approval workflows and clearing calculations that, at the present time, are incredibly labor-intensive. Not only will this automation help to reduce work hours, but it will also dramatically reduce errors and the time taken for these calculations to take place. Records. Our next use case of smart contracts are in keeping records. Nearly every foreseeable industry in the world will be able to use smart contracts to help improve the speed and security of its record keeping. One industry in particular that stands to benefit enormously is the healthcare industry. Currently, the world's healthcare computer systems hold hundreds of millions of patient medical records. Despite the fact that these healthcare organizations have invested huge sums of money on security, still, the current access and storage methods are far more vulnerable to cyber attacks compared to the blockchain-based technology. Blockchain technology could allow the entire databases of personal health records to be kept secure. An added bonus is that the technology also facilitates the use of private key. That means only certain individuals can gain access. Some of the other blockchain smart contract use cases include their use in issuing prescriptions, storing receipts, general stock management, storing test results, and so on. Property ownership. Smart contracts have two huge uses when it comes to the property market. First, they can be used to record property ownership. Since the use of smart contracts is faster and more cost efficient, this makes them a much better alternative to existing systems. It also means that they can be used to record the ownership of all types of property from buildings, lands, to phones and watches. Number 2, elimination of any kind of middleman. Within the housing market, smart contracts can remove the need for expensive services such as those provided by lawyers and housing brokers. This new technology also means that for the very first time, sellers have the ability to handle transactions completely by themselves without the need of any middlemen. Mortgages. The property market also stands to benefit from cheaper, faster and more secure smart contract-based mortgage transactions. Not only will this allow buyers to get into the property quicker, but it will also help to make the entire process a little less of a headache. Smart contract mortgages would allow both the parties to digitally agree to the sale before processing the payment. Once this is done, the contract would update the property ownership details to reflect the change of ownership. Since the process would require unique key code authorization on behalf of the original owner, it will make the whole process more secure and reduce instances of fraud. Insurance. The next sector that stands to benefit from smart contracts is the insurance sector. The insurance industry spends tens of millions of dollars each year on processing claims. Not only that, it actually loses millions of dollars to fraudulent claims as well. Aside from supporting the initial insurance policy, smart contracts could also help to improve the process of claim processing in many ways. They could allow error checks and determine payout amounts based on the set of criteria that takes into account the kind of policy that was held by the individual or the organization. Once again, reduced processing times, a dramatic reduction in errors, and cheaper costs are among the main benefits of smart contracts. In longer term, smart contracts could be used in tandem with Internet of Things enabled vehicles to allow for the pay-as-you-go insurance policies and the immediate activation of claims after an accident. Information such as driver licenses, driving records, accident reports, and policy details could be immediately processed to facilitate speedy payouts that would benefit both the parties. Medical research. The medical research industry will benefit from similar advantages as the healthcare industry. First of all, highly sensitive data such as patients' records could be transferred between departments, research centers, after having been securely encrypted via blockchain technology. Since many of the patients participating in medical research have sensitive medical conditions that they often wish to remain private, keeping these records secure is very essential. Likewise, medical research companies have enormous amount of data which includes test results and new drug formulas that they need to keep safe. This could be secured with the use of smart contracts, should they need to divulge any of this information to a third party for any reason. Voting. Well, smart contracts can be the smart formula that can be used for elections. Allegations of fraudulent activities have occurred in many elections of the past. Despite using computer systems that in some cases cost millions of dollars, fraudsters find increasingly imaginative ways to manipulate them. Well, here comes smart contract as a smart savior. Smart contracts are a simple and cost-effective solution to this problem. They can be used to validate a voter's identity and record their vote. This information could then be used to initiate an action after all voting had ceased. Since the blocks within a blockchain are impossible to alter once they have been recorded, manipulation of this record would be very difficult. Peer-to-peer transactions. Smart contracts can be used for a whole range of peer-to-peer transactions. This reasoning is what led to the creation of the Ethereum project and other such companies. Users of all shapes and sizes could use these platforms to create and agree on smart contracts. These contracts then remain active until a set of agreed conditions are met. Once the smart contract is happy that all the conditions have been met, it then allows the remaining portion of the agreement to be fulfilled. Typically, this is the transfer of money, but this isn't always the case. So far, smart contracts have been used for everything from launching ICOs to selling goods on the internet. Various companies are also using smart contracts to secure services of development teams and other outsourced companies. The possibilities of peer-to-peer smart contracts are literally endless. Theoretically, this could replace many of the existing roles that are currently fulfilled by currency. Product development. Another exciting use of smart contracts is to keep a ledger regarding the stages of development of a product. A huge part of the appeal of smart contracts is their ability to keep information secure and to prove its origins. A company that has invested huge amounts of money into developing a project obviously doesn't wish for the information to be stolen. Generally, the only route to justice when information is stolen is a lengthy court process, something which most companies don't have time and money to go through. Now, when it comes to intellectual property such as ideas, you don't need to look as far as the never-ending patent claims between Apple and Samsung just to see how important being able to prove ownership really can be. The list of industries that could benefit from this new technology is huge, given the fact that smart contracts support and secure product development. The kind of industries involved could range from a small startup to a large tech company such as Microsoft or Amazon. Stock taking. Supply chains are another area of business that can benefit from blockchain-based smart contracts. Internet of Things devices could be used throughout the supply chain to record each step a product takes. Smart contract supply chains could theoretically, virtually eliminate in-house theft, as managers would be able to trace a missing product back to the exact time and place that it went missing. On huge supply chains, such as those found in large warehouses, these smart contracts would enable managers to see real-time stock levels and the time it takes for a product to move through the supply chain. Managers could use this data to adjust stock levels and develop new working practices to improve delivery times. For supply chains that operate in several different locations or companies, smart contracts could do all of the above and even initiate automating reorders and payments for order already received. Such information as contained in these contracts could also be used to help with determining up and coming busy periods and even which products to stock at different times of the year. So we see smart contracts are the most exciting thing to have come from the blockchain technology so far. Smart contracts really do have the power to take our lives out of the hands of institutions such as banks. Since we can use smart contracts to exchange something as simple as labor or more complex things such as loans, they will gain in popularity and the number of these services will grow exponentially. The technological advantages of smart contracts will help to speed up transaction times, lower costs, and even make processes much easier and stress-free. And when smart technology is present in the cars we drive, things we use, and help determine the choices that we make, the world could be a much more secure and a happy place to live. For all this interesting content from around the world of digital currencies and blockchain technology, keep watching your favorite channel, Crypto TV. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Vinita Chatterjee, signing off.